Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Hey everyone, hope you're having a good weekend. Checking in on CMG VRX GPRO TWTR daily weekly time frame. So CMG, a little bit of a heads up to the short-term bulls that further consolidation is likely, and the two scenarios that indicate that is the loss of the recent low of consolidation, and that was the low that we saw on Wednesday, 447.07. So breaking that level and seeing it on increased bear volume is the heads up. So we saw this nice clear pattern of declining volume. We were looking for a break to indicate short-term direction, and it occurred for the bears, and we closed below the 4-period exponential. So this tells me that further consolidation is more likely on CMG. We're going to be watching for a support to be found and indicate that it's ready to get back in for some bullish continuation, because certainly we're anticipating the bulls to stay in control after the incredible 2-week run that they did see here. So the support level that I'm watching is this previous resistance in the mid 434s, 434.58 and 69. Previous resistance, anticipating that it is going to act as support, and we will need to see a bullish reversal candlestick off of those levels. We also have a bearish reversal candlestick on the weekly time frame, an inverted hammer. We are still above the upper Bollinger Band. We'll have to update that level at the open. It's going to be in the upper 440s to start next week. But if we see a red week and a loss of the upper Bollinger Band, that too will indicate that more consolidation is coming in the short term. We will be anticipating a higher low to continue to form on the weekly. The trend has shifted to favor the bulls now, so we're looking for an uptrend to begin forming on this CMG weekly time frame. VRX, still very, very weak. It's a bullish reversal doji. We did not confirm the bullish reversal inverted hammer from Thursday. We are looking for some short-term upside as we have a little bit of a base built here at 947, 944, 949. Need to break the lower high pattern. We've seen lower highs on the daily time frame now 7 days in a row. So if the bulls come out firing on Monday and break 980, we know that they're going to have some short-term momentum to the upside. And there are short-term gains to be had here if you want to play bullish. But if you want to stick with the trend, you're just patiently waiting for the bulls to tire themselves out, to establish another lower high, and to reject from either one of these exponential resistances or that daily middle Bollinger Band, which has been tough resistance as well. So there are multiple ways to play this. And the more patient trader is going to stick with the trend and wait for another bearish entry after a short-term bounce, cooling off this oversold RSI in the short term. The weekly time frame continues to see weakness, rejecting from the 4-period exponential moving average on increasing bear volume, and the RSI here on the weekly time frame is meaningless at this point because it's been oversold for so long. Clearly, that does not indicate that a short-term bounce is coming to cool off that weekly RSI. So the lack of support certainly stands out, as does the incredible bearish trend that we have here, and we are not going to be trying to fight that trend unless we see significant reason to do so. And for me, that will be turning the middle Bollinger Band on the daily into support, which we are still well below 10% below. GPRO upper wicks is the common theme here the past 3 days. The bulls have made some nice intraday moves, but they are unable to hold strong as nobody wants to hold overnight. So we've got 875 resistance again. That has been resistance in the past, 876, 875. And if we cannot break 885, it is just another lower high. And then if we pull back and break 834, the low of this consolidation, we will then have a lower high and a lower low. Keeping an eye out for a potential bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern here, where we've got our left shoulder, the head, and our right shoulder. And if we were to pull back and break 834, that would be a break of the neckline, and we would be looking back down towards filling this gap. So absolutely scouting a GPRO bearish entry. And really at this point, we could also wait for a loss of the middle Bollinger Band, which will be in the upper 830s, maybe the low 840s to start next week. So the upper wicks tell us that the bears still have control of this chart. And if we break that 834 level, the bears should take back over. The weekly time frame keeps rejecting from these exponential resistances. We have an inside bar this week compared to last week. And if we see inability to get over these weekly exponential resistances, we are looking back down towards the all-time low. Twitter on the daily time frame, this has just been such a nice bear. Both GoPro and Twitter, since we started covering these videos, it's just very consistent to the downside. So unable to see any follow through here on Twitter. We keep seeing lower highs and lower lows, and we keep taking away supports as we are running out of them before the all-time low. 14.25 and 14 are the next supports. We have seen 5 red days in a row. Same scenario where if looking bearish on Twitter, we will likely see a short-term bounce in the near-term future to cool off this RSI, which bounced just off 30 the last time, and here we are at 30 again. So I would not be looking to initiate a bearish position if not already in one after this 5 days of downside. Middle Bollinger Band resistance very clear as well. Not going to be looking bullish in any way, shape, or form on Twitter unless that level becomes support. And even then, we'll just be looking for some short-term upside. But this exponential weekly resistance continues to reject the price. This is the lowest weekly close that we have seen on Twitter since June. That's a 9-month low on the weekly close. And again, we're just looking at the $14 level and the all-time low of $13.79. Bears extremely strong and in control of Twitter. I appreciate you watching. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you Monday.